Good morning.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and we hope you'll be happier at work today, being Thursday, because this is Happy at Work Thursday, and our guest is Adrian Choo, CEO and founder at Career Agility International. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, Angel. And good morning to all our listeners out there.
Good morning. I guess you can only be happy at work if you actually have a job, right?
That's true, but
I'm assuming everyone has a job. I mean, our unemployment rate is zero, right?
Not zero. No. It's never zero.
It's about 3%, maybe
Okay.
4-ish, hovering. But not everyone's happy at work, but we can try to be happier at work if you know how to do it. So that's why today we're going to talk about how do we become happy at work. And one thing that really floored me this week, the last week, was an interesting article that came out on CNBC. And it says Google employees petition for job security ahead of expected cuts.
As in Google, the company Google, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the employees basically wrote a letter and a petition to HR and said, "Hey guys, give us a break. Don't fire us. Be more compassionate." And I was very amused that
Why?
people would actually believe that writing a letter to HR would actually prevent them from getting retrenched or it's just.
But they
interesting.
asked.
So you're saying don't do it?
Yeah, that's why today I wanted to ask the listeners out there whether or not it makes sense to petition HR for your job, or does the company owe you a job?
But I feel you got nothing to lose. Right? If you're
this
really
is true.
desperate,
This is true.
you want to keep your job, and I think there's nothing to lose, right? Yeah, because if you don't do it and you lose your job,
Like, you cannot-
But what if your job was never at risk and then you do it and then somebody doesn't like it and then they're like, oh, you know what? I don't like this. One's a suck up. Let's get rid
now
of
you're
them.
thinking a bit too much.
No,
really.
but it's true though, because you say that they are at risk. Job security is a
yeah.
risk, right? It's
Yeah.
either you keep your job or you don't, right?
Yeah.
And no one will ever know unless they're told.
Yes, correct. And to your question, what have you got to lose? I think your dignity.
And sometimes
This is
people
true.
need to lose their dignity in order to keep
Gain something.
what they hold dear to them.
This is true as well.
True.
Yeah.
And that's why today I wanted to share with everybody here who holds the power. I mean, obviously, as far as your current employment is concerned with your boss holds the cards. But who actually holds the cards? Whether or not you can figure out a way to be so important that they can't fire you, or be so good at what you do that other companies would love to have you on their team. So instead of just being at the mercy of your company or with an evil boss,
Yeah.
how do
Okay.
you bulletproof yourself? How do you make yourself in a position where you don't have to be begging for your job?
Right. But I think, don't you think there's a fine line between like someone who's extremely proud, right? And will never, ever, ever beg. And someone who is, I wouldn't say like someone who's like going on his knees to beg, please, please don't let me go. No, but somewhere in between. I mean, if there's a fine balance,
Yes,
don't you think that's
Agreed.
good?
Agreed. I think so. And that's why you must have the confidence in your own ability and take an honest look at yourself. If you are really not that critical to your business operations, or you really don't have any employability outside of your current company, then you got to start taking steps like upskilling
Yeah.
and changing your career strategy
And your mindset.
and your mindsets and your friends and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else.
Let's go on the Big Show TV and let's talk about how much is going too low. In terms of
right.
like, okay,
Groveling?
are you groveling already right now? Okay, let's talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Kygo featuring Sandro Cavazza. This is Hold On Me on Kiss 92. Yeah, so
I have a question for our listeners out there, actually. Do our listeners out there feel that the government is providing enough protection for their employment with their companies? I'm saying this because I was talking to an HR director for Asia Pacific, and she was telling me, do you know how difficult it is to fire someone in Korea or Japan? Because there's almost legislation over there that prevents anyone from being fired. So there was this individual she had who was a pain in the butt for the whole organization. And this person refused to resign.
Okay.
And the company couldn't do anything about it. This was in Korea. And this person sat in the job for 1 year, and they couldn't fire this person. And ultimately, they had to negotiate with this person to get out. And that involved a large sum of money. So,
Wow.
so that to me is an extreme.
But you know what? I've been hearing more and more cases because I've got friends working in companies here as well, HR as well as some of the higher ups and all that. And it's, I think, very similar here, you know. It's also not easy to fire people anymore here in Singapore.
You can.
Is it? Does
No, not according to them.
Wow.
are we protected? Does the government protect the companies or the employees?
In Singapore?
Yeah.
It's the company for sure.
It's a company.
You don't even need an excuse to fire someone in Singapore. I mean, I'm being cruel here, but that's what I told a client once. He wanted to set up an office in Singapore, and he said, "How is it to fire someone in Singapore?" And I said, once the contract runs out, or as long as you, as long as you fulfill the terms of the contract, which is 3-month notice period, I pay you off now. Bye. Thanks for coming. It's very hard to even file a wrongful dismissal type claim.
Really?
In Singapore. I mean, it's not impossible. You could go
But
through
you got
lawyers and
a
everything.
long time.
We've got like bosses and HR people tuned into us right now. I mean,
Yeah.
let us know. I mean, I feel like it's very hard to fire people in Singapore because of what my friends tell me.
Yeah.
But Adrian says, it's
It's
still easier than in places like Korea. What do you think?
Yeah, let us know on
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube.
Especially in Europe, apparently. In Europe, it's very
Oh,
difficult.
in Europe it's hard,
very
yeah.
difficult to fire people in Europe. So when I told my client who was setting up the office here, and I said, look, you can just terminate the person on the spot. Just pay off whatever the terms of the employment contract are, and that's it. So it's quite clear cut. So I'm wondering a lot whether it's a good or bad thing. It's good for the employers, but you see, it also cuts both ways. If I want to quit, same thing. I just pay off. I just serve my notice period. And it's easy to leave as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way thing.
But I think I'm for protecting the employee.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like, a place like Korea or in America, for example, or Europe, you just mentioned, right? I feel like, when you have all those things in place, right, it is, I feel like, it's a sophisticated society.
But it needs to be a balance as well. Like this woman in Korea who was sitting at a job for 1 year and just collecting money. I mean, so there are some people that will manipulate the system as well.
Systems will always be abused, right?
Yeah.
But are we talking about the majority? Not necessarily, right?
Because they have unions. A lot of these countries have
Because
unions
you talk
and
about
protection, right?
like being able to fire someone easily. That could be a boss abusing his power as well.
This is true.
Oh, that's
as well.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
And we've
You know what I
seen
mean?
many of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Just because
think
they don't
it's-
like your face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they want to employ their nephew or something, and they just want to get you out. So lots of things going on. And
So
that's
nothing
why
is fair.
Yeah.
Nothing is fair in this world, right? Just suck it up, buttercup, right? Just live with it. And I would love to hear what our listeners out there are, whether they have experiences like this before, whether whether they are a boss or an employee, and what do you feel about it? I think the government so far is walking a very thin line between the two. But I do believe it's good to be pro-business. But I'm wondering whether or not a little bit more could be done
For the employees.
for the employee, or whether what the people are thinking, whether it's good enough.
Is this why? Is this why so many international corporations are bringing their headquarters here as well? Because
It's easier to fire people.
I mean, but it's well,
Like Donald Trump, you're fired.
The employers are considered king, right? The companies are considered king, right? I mean, and also obviously for tax reasons. But is this why that more people are bringing their headquarters here?
Yes, I think. Number one, two things. Traditionally, why foreign companies set up their regional headquarters in Singapore. Number one is a talent pool. Singapore has a rich and thick talent pool for senior management, senior leaders, because we've been having MNCs here for the past 40 years, right? So we are pretty good. The other thing are the tax breaks that we get. However, these two things are running out. Do we have time to talk about this a bit more?
On air, if you wanna.
Oh, yeah.
If not, we can wait for the other one.
Because there are two things that we are running out. The local talents.
Yeah.
Yeah. The regional, our neighbors, they're catching up as well. But the other thing about tax breaks, I was just talking to a tax director yesterday, and he said because there are new international regulations, our tax breaks
Are running out.
Yeah, you
They're
can't go
not-
below. You can't go below 15% anymore.
Oh.
So all the grants and everything we used to give out, tax
Yeah,
free.
yeah. It's not as much as
yeah.
before. Okay, hang on.
Crazy, she's poison but tasty. And people say, run, don't walk away. She's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, my mind.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the AYE towards the MCE, a broken down vehicle has been spotted at Benoy Road's exit. As you go through your Thursday morning, be safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. And we're talking about, Singapore compared to, some other places in the world where it is almost impossible to fire an employee. But here in Singapore, everyone's fireable.
Everyone's disposable. But we're also talking about if you think you are about to get cut,
Yeah.
should you be begging for your job?
Yeah. And I think, that's you can beg, you can write to HR like these individuals I was telling in the previous segment. What they did was they wrote a petition to HR to be humane. You can do that, but how effective it is, it's going to be another big question mark, right?
So this was Google where? As in the
I think
US
the
or
US,
here in...
the US?
Okay.
The US. So, I think we need to figure out when we are in such a situation, factors we can control and factors we can't. Whether or not the company wants to fire you is something you can't control,
Right.
right? But what you can control is, do I have a backup plan? Do I have the right skills in the right areas, and am I really good at those
To be rehired.
to be rehired elsewhere, or even be so important to the company right now that they can't fire me? So I know this guy who's one of the top salespeople in his organization, and he said the company can't fire me because my clients buy from me, not buy from the company.
Oh, that's a bit arrogant. Huh?
Yeah, but he's got a point because he says those guys have been with me for the past 15 years. For my previous company, they'll follow me wherever I go. So he said a bit arrogant, but it's true.
Yeah. But he
And-
doesn't have to say it out loud.
Yeah,
lah,
he
you know.
doesn't say it out loud, but
Okay.
but in his mind he knows that I hold the relationships.
Okay.
If the other company were to, if my boss were to fire me, I'll walk over across the street to the other company,
Right.
and I'll bring all my accounts over.
But that is legally not allowed, right?
A big question mark.
Yeah.
But ultimately, even if you take 6 months off and you come back again after your non-compete,
Yeah.
yeah, you still, but the bosses will recognize that, and the bosses will not. You won't be the top person they're gonna retrench or fire.
Not the first on the list.
Not the first on the list.
But I mean, speaking of arrogance, some people might just say, you know what, I'm so special, I have all these skills in their head, maybe they don't, that nobody's going to fire me.
Just no
I'm
EQ, no EQ.
I'm indispensable. No one's going to cut me. I mean, what do you say to those people? How do you know you're so valuable to the company? Or how do you actually make yourself so valuable and know that you are?
Actually, you brought up a very interesting point because, as much as you think, or any of us think we are indispensable, I think we all know. Nobody
No.
really
Yeah,
is.
we are not.
No one is.
Even
yeah.
the CEO of a company, public listed, or any company,
Yeah.
the board can fire him,
Yeah.
right? So we've seen that happen before. If he doesn't perform 2 quarters in a row or 3 quarters in a row, he's out. So I think nobody's job is ever stable or promised. So we need to figure out how do we then become a bit more agile, so that we make it a bit more difficult to fire. But more importantly, if you do get fired, where are you going to go?
Okay, we're going to talk about that agility on The Big Show TV. It is 8:18.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
Well, Heng Chai has come on Facebook and said it's pretty hard to fire someone in Singapore because the reputation of the company is at stake. Do people really care about reputations of the company?
I don't know. I would love to find out, but it's a matter of whether or not they want to fire. But some companies in Singapore have a hire and fire.
Really?
Reputation, yeah.
Oh, really?
Some
More or
technology
less?
companies.
As in, like, more companies have that ability or not?
Some.
Because
Some technology companies that do that.
Because let's say, I think HR has the final say, right? Because if you want to fire someone, they've got to know about it, right?
They will administer
The paperwork?
paperwork and the firing, but the decision, let's not bully
Yeah.
HR.
It's not
But
the
HR will
bosses.
question what? HR doesn't have the ability to question?
HR
It's like,
can.
give me proof. Why do you want to fire this employee? I know this is your recommendation and all that, but we want to make sure that this doesn't come back to bite us.
But I don't think they need the approval as such, right, HR? I don't know how it works.
No, that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
I think it's normally initiated from way above HR's.
So you're saying
HR
that-
executes.
Executes. HR does not question.
They may question, they may push back, but it once again depends on how strong the HR is.
Anyone
pushing
working
back.
in HR? I mean,
yeah.
have things changed right now? I mean, do you guys question certain things that comes down from the top?
Like, is there
you know?
investigation done to see if this person deserves to get fired
Exactly.
or not, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a firing, then you normally fire for cause. Means there's a reason.
Yeah.
But if you're retrenching, then a lot of times it's something that's out of your hands. Because
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
from head office.
Because
Yeah.
retrenching, they would probably be in the know already. It's
Yeah,
it's
correct.
a company-wide exercise
Yes.
or,
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's a who do you want to let go?
Yeah.
And
But firing can be like, I don't like your face, leave. I mean,
yeah, technically speaking.
there are some people that do that, right?
Technically speaking, I've seen people being fired for no valid reason.
How does that get by though?
That's terrible.
Yeah,
though.
how does it even how do people get away with it?
Well, it's basically several ways of doing it. One of the traditional ways of doing it.
Are you teaching us how to do it?
I mean, it's a classic move. They basically make your life so terrible that you quit.
That's what a lot of people on Facebook are saying.
Yeah, and it's a classic move. It's a horrible thing to do. But,
That's so bad, though. I mean, if the person deserves that, because there's some people who deserve,
Yeah.
Yes.
to get fired, right? I mean, if the person deserves it, that's fine. but
Unfortunately, yeah.
but if a person is getting bullied, as a result of, other things,
Yeah. Can you go to
then
MOM
It's so sad.
for that? Can the employee go to MOM and say someone's making my life really difficult?
You could.
Is anything gonna happen?
Is anything going to happen? That's another question.
Is it MOM or is it TAFEP?
TAFEP is kind of
okay.
part of MOM, kind of, or go to your union or stuff like that. But if you kick up a fuss and then you develop a reputation
For being difficult.
for being
Oh my
difficult,
gosh, I hate that term.
So there's
But now
this-
there's social media.
Yeah.
which is
So can they actually go on social media and
I think it's career suicide. To do that.
Defamation as well.
It's
Oh,
career
Companies,
suicide to do
yeah.
that, to come out and say that
Yeah.
it's just better to just slink off into the darkness and
Find
and
another job.
Find another job. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing. There was this individual who was retrenched and he went to engage lawyers and everything. And even if you win, you lose.
What if you went on social media and you said, my boss is treating me unfairly without naming any companies?
But you only have one boss, right? I mean, it's like
No, I know. No, I know. But nobody else knows. You know what I mean? It's not a public thing. It's not like Glenn Ong saying, "Oh, my boss doesn't like me," because then everybody
I
knows
know,
it's SPH, right? But let's say I won't say nobody, but an unknown person
Yeah.
goes on social media and says, "I'm being treated unfairly. This is what the boss is doing. Is that illegal? Can the company sue them?
No, I don't think they can. But it would be amusing because as a colleague they'll say, "Hey, boss, you see what Annie is doing? See, it's just like
and unless you're a celebrity, nobody cares.
But
Right
these
now.
are the things that go. But these are the
kinda
things
true.
that go
Right.
viral on TikTok.
I know,
Do you know
lah.
what I mean?
It's like you're really airing your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, who are you? You know what I mean? I mean, unless of course there is a scandal
Yeah,
involved,
yeah.
then it becomes a bit different.
then people give a hoot. Otherwise, they don't bother, right?
So Bernard Chung has said some HR don't do anything and don't question and just follow orders. I have experience of being fired, and I was the CEO of being fired by the CEO of the company without proper procedure and valid reason, and HR just served me a notice without questioning or
wow.
investigation. I went to TAFED to make them retract the termination and allow me to submit as a resignation with compensation.
Yeah.
Is that's an option then?
That's an option.
Okay, so instead of being fired, you resign.
Okay, so the difference, a lot of listeners are probably asking, what's the difference? If the boss fires you for cause, which means he can justify why you're going to be fired, he does not have to pay you the notice period.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have
Because
a 3
that's
month
a
notice
reason.
period,
Yeah.
So there was a case where a pregnant employee was fired
For being pregnant.
for kind of long story. I won't get into details, but she was terminated for cause which the boss thought it was valid. Okay, but she disagreed, and she brought it to MOM, and MOM said that, no, it was an unfair termination. So and the hidden subtext is that the boss was maybe perhaps trying to escape paying the
Maternity leave, yeah.
and MOM said, no, sorry, you got to pay not just to the notice period, but all the way through to the maternity.
That's so nice of MOM.
Wow, okay.
Right.
So she left the company but still got paid all the way through the 4 months leave and whatnot.
Correct.
Okay,
So
wow.
that's
Well done, MOM.
Nicely done, yeah.
That's a fair outcome,
Ministry
if you ask
of Mothers.
Yes,
Ministry
in
of
this
Motherhood.
case. In this case, yes. Okay, no, but that was a nice move. So at least like people have options,
They
you know,
do,
if they
they
get
do.
unfairly.
They do. I think-
Begging is not one of them.
Yeah. In that case, I think it was valid to go to MOM, because I think that's really an unfair termination. And the employer may feel that it was a fair termination, but I would just let her resign and just pay her the whole amount
Yeah.
rather than end up going to court or getting sued.
Well, Johnny has said on the topic of termination, is there anything wrong with terminating an employee without cause?
Okay, we'll answer that question on air.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question, actually. Keep those questions coming in, please. Adrian Choo is with us this morning. He is from Career Agility International. You can get in touch with him. info@careeragility.org. Going for a traffic update.
Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just pretend. The streams wildest dreams even if it's just in your wildest dreams in your wildest dreams
Kiss 92 traffic.
Quite a number of situations, especially if you're on the AYE heading towards Tuas. There are two problem spots. One is after Jurong Pier Road's exit, and one is before Pioneer Road exit. I'm not sure if those are the same situations. Avoid lane 4. Vehicles have broken down there. Also on the PIE towards Tuas after Thompson Road's exit, avoid lane 1. An accident has been spotted. If you see anything else, it's 8855-0920.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Why is everything so dark this morning?
Must be your glasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need a new pair of progressive glasses. I'm having problems now, even like reading off my phone. Anyway, good morning, Adrian.
Well, welcome to old age.
Oh, dear.
I tell you, I actually have 3 pairs of glasses. It's so sad. One for driving, one for reading off my screen, one for reading a book.
Don't they have progressives for that, or you don't like
do,
progressives?
but I can't handle progressives
Okay,
well.
fair
I
enough.
get a migraine when I use them.
Or not the platform to be talking about old people glasses right now.
I think I better go for eye check. Philip D. Isaac, I'm coming to see you.
All right, we're back to our
If I can
topic
see you.
about if you can find him. We're back to our topic about termination, and Johnny on our Facebook asked, is there anything wrong with terminating an employee without cause?
There is... Okay, it's not a matter of is there anything wrong, Johnny. It's a matter of whether you can do it. The answer is yes, you can.
And of course it's wrong.
I mean,
Ethically, it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's I don't like
What
his
a
face.
question.
I don't like his face.
Kiam Pat face.
Yes, you can fire the person without cause, as long as you pay
off
off his
Whatever is in the
whatever's in the
contract.
contract. If it's a 1 month notice period, 3 month notice period, saying, look, I don't like your face. No, you can't say that. You can just say that I
I don't need you
I don't
anymore.
think this is working out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Why
that's
don't they
just-
say like why can't he say like, okay, I don't love you anymore?
It's
No,
not
that's-
you, it's me.
Let's
That's
just go our
discrimin-
separate ways.
That's discrimination. No. Why? What did I do?
I mean, it's much better than all the other
Yeah,
reason.
right.
I feel like just saying I don't need your services anymore. Is that good
Yeah,
enough?
that's good enough.
Is it good enough?
I honestly think it's good enough.
It's a lie, but
It's a lie. Yeah, it's like a breakup.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's not you, it's me. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. But I
Then
would
what if
just
the
keep it-
person who's getting fired starts singing, I can't live if living is without you? That would be begging. Okay, which,
That would be
Which
is not
awful.
good.
Begging.
Mol has come on and said, when I used to manage people in a US company, employees who were underperforming and had behavioral problems needed to go through an action plan and be monitored. Once they breached the code of conduct outlined in that action plan, 3 times they were asked to leave the company.
Yeah, which is
That's
something
fair.
Which is something I want to bring up because if the boss wants to fire you without wanting to pay the notice period, then there's a lot of documentation that needs to be involved. You got to put them on what we call a PIP, a performance improvement plan, like something like what Molly just said.
Okay.
And you have to do this. You have to call up. You have to do this. This is your job. These are the 3 things you need to do in the morning. And then the moment you don't meet the PIP stipulated terms, then they can literally let you go without paying you.
But this was before or currently, I mean, it's like that as
No,
well.
it's always been like that.
Right. Because, I mean, if the person,
It's
let's
like a
say, has
strike 3 thing.
behavioral issues and stuff like that, shouldn't the company then try and find out whether this is a mental health issue?
They will try.
Or,
They will try.
does the person have ADHD?
So that's why one of my biggest takeaways to clients is this. If you are being put on a PIP, which you find is not justifiable, it's the first step the boss is trying to take to get rid of you.
Oh, they have PIPs here.
Oh, they have PIPs over here.
Right,
So if you're on a
okay.
PIP, it's a first step. It could be you. You could be just not doing your job well enough.
And do they have the strike 3 here as well, or is it just a one time or
They most of the time companies will give you a 3 strike.
three strike thing, right? Okay.
So if you're on a PIP, just take note. Start sending out your CVs.
Ooh.
I would say that. Just
And
in
will they
case.
tell you strike 1, strike 2, or they just quietly, okay, that's
I think
Do they
the
let you
moment
know?
you're on a PIP, you're already
You're already
it's
on the
already
way
a
out.
message that's being sent.
got it. Okay.
What's PIP again?
Performance improvement plan.
so you don't want to be on a PIP.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
their way of kicking you out.
All right, let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. Coming up, something new from Sexy Red and Bruno Mars.
Oh.
This is brand new.
Okay, here's something from David Boo. I'll read it as is because you might understand the English. Can company after you resign crawl back your approved leave or off 2 years ago?
Crawl back? What?
Clawback.
Claw
Okay,
back.
no, I'm reading it
Oh.
as is because I have no idea what he's trying to say.
Can a company after
After you resign, claw back your approved leave or off from 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago is a bit long lah.
Okay.
long.
Can they claw back anything? I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know what he means.
Claw
here.
back as in he wants to be compensated.
No,
No,
like it's
no.
what I understand what
Company.
David means is you've taken 5 days of leave and you resign.
Okay.
Can they say that you owe me the 5 days leave back?
But you taken the 5 days
Oh,
of
I
leave
see.
and then you come back to work?
No.
Oh.
So it's like if I've worked. Okay, today is for end of January, say
Yeah.
right. I've taken 2 days of leave and then I resign,
Right.
and then the company says, yeah, I'm gonna pay you, but I'm gonna
Right.
claw back the 2 days of your salary.
Yeah.
Because you're not entitled to those.
I see.
So from
Okay.
2 years ago, David, that's a very long time. Okay.
Yeah.
MOM. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they
That's not-
can't
that's
do
not
that. We're assuming that his previous company did that to him.
Yeah, of course.
That's the
Otherwise,
reason.
why would
And I
question
think
it?
that's unfair if it's
Yeah.
2 years back.
But if it's a valid, okay, so supposing if you're given 12 days of leave a year, supposing, okay, and if in January by right your entitlement is just 1, because it's 1 day per month. I mean, you know what I mean.
Right. Okay.
But if you tell the
Evened out
boss,
like that.
yeah, but
I
if
want
you
12.
tell the boss I want 12 because something urgent, the boss gives you 12 days leave, and then you quit in February, right?
Okay.
And then the boss can say, wait,
You only worked half a month.
yeah,
Yeah.
or you work 1 month.
Yeah.
I want my 11 days back.
Yeah.
And I'll
Okay.
draw it. That is
Fair.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair. But from 2 years ago,
So what's the cutoff?
You can't even
I
justify,
don't
man.
know. I think the cutoff is like what's fair and
Immediate.
right now.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
2 years ago, everyone who hears this right now is going, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's the justification? There's
So-
no way you can
1 year
justify
ago,
that.
So,
1 year
David, I
ago,
mean,
so
you
it's
can let us know if it's happened to you because clearly, like, you're asking a question based on experience.
Yeah.
Jonathan has said, actually,
actually,
I'm just reading it as I'm trying to be April Kim from yesterday.
You sound good like that, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like an no.
Yeah, we don't want you to sound like a newscaster.
All right. Doesn't the Employment Act prohibit unfair dismissal? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it does. Then you have to prove that it's unfair. And what's the best outcome? The best outcome is unfair dismissal. Once again, means that you get what's due to you. You dismiss me, but if you pay
I get
me,
my 1 month or 3 months, whatever it is.
correct. But if you feel that you shouldn't have fired me, then you can bring it up to MOM. I've heard of cases where MOM has stepped in and said, that's unfair. I want you to rehire him. Okay, this example. Do you still want to work with that
How
company?
awful to go back though. Yeah, somebody
you
didn't
know,
want you.
Yeah, and it's like it's then what's the best outcome? You know? So I know of this case where this sales manager was on the hit list by his boss. So the boss said couldn't fire him. So the boss said it's going to be a retrenchment exercise. Your role is no longer there, Mr. Sales Manager. Gave him a package and everything, which was fair, and hired someone else to take over as a business development manager, different job title,
But same role.
same role. He said that's a retrenchment, redundancy, yet it's not. So he brought up to MOM, and
Can't, right?
Yeah, I mean it's what's the outcome? I mean,
Yeah.
if you want your pound of flesh from that boss and make it miserable for him. Then, but end of the day,
It's not worth
what's
it.
in it for you, right?
Yeah. Speaking of packages,
complicated.
it is. Speaking of packages, Edwin Tan has said, can a company force you to take your remaining leave as garden leave before computation of termination compensation in lieu of notice period? I'm sure you got all that, right?
Yeah.
Say it back to us.
Ask
later.
Adrian, everybody. Ask Adrian. This is your last chance. We're about to end the show in like 10 minutes from now.
Free advice.
Yes.
So basically, if you have like 1 month of leave,
Okay.
unutilized leave that's due to you, and the notice period is 1 month, can they just say, okay, fine, use it as
in lieu
to
of,
offset the
right,
leave?
okay.
Once again, it depends on your employment contract. If it says yes, you can, then yes, you can.
So you got to really comb through.
Yeah, if it says you
The
can't,
contract.
then you can't.
But most bosses, I mean, especially if the bosses don't quite like this individual, will make this person
Go sue
slave
them.
it out for like a whole month, right?
Yeah, but some bosses they want to stinge on the package, giving
So they
say,
rather
yeah,
do
just
the
right,
offset, right? Yeah.
So it depends. Some individuals want to do it because they say I want to get out straight away. So I go 1 week, 1 month of just consider
Clear
that,
it all.
clear it off. And the boss will say no, I want you to hang around to close off the work,
Hand over.
hand over.
everything.
So it's all negotiable, to be negotiated. But it all boils back down to what the HR policy is, what your employment contract is.
Yeah.
You
Some
say-
companies they are afraid, you know why? The person is leaving already. They might sabo
Yeah, of course.
the company or department. So okay, I think you better go.
Yeah. I mean,
Get
you
out
say-
of here.
You say read the contract, but a lot of people don't, and also like going back and reading like 30 pages with fine print and legal language and stuff like that. Half the people don't understand what it is. but
Nobody reads, lah.
Nobody reads. Let me just see something.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody sent a message on WhatsApp. Hang on. Okay, question to Adrian. If you are retrenched, then offered a new role, but you don't like the new role offered for some reason, are you still entitled to the retrenchment benefits?
Tricky.
So they want to rehire you, but you
so
don't
if
like the role.
if your role has been made redundant,
If you are retrenched, then offer a new role.
correct,
Yeah.
you're going to be retrenched, offer a new role.
Yeah.
And
You don't
say,
like it.
Yeah. So once again, it's tricky. Okay, it depends on a lot of variables. So if you decline, some companies will force you to take the new role and say that it's not redundancy, it's a redeployment, and you don't like it, that's too bad.
Oh.
Yeah. But
If
typically,
too bad and
This
quit.
this
is it?
sounds like
Yeah.
it actually. This
Yeah,
particular
it sounds like
message,
it,
it
yeah.
sounds like it. Because you're already like, oh, goodwill. We are going to to just offer you a new role. But what, you're still not happy? Okay, then go.
Yeah, then you resign lah.
Yeah.
Then you resign lah, kind of thing. So once again, it's very situational. Different situations.
And your relationship with the company as well, right?
Yeah, correct. My advice is, if you want to, you can drop us an email. We can review your situation, but it's tricky. Some companies will offer you a lower paying job. Some people don't mind taking it. Some people would mind taking it. But technically speaking, they should pay.
Okay, we're going for a traffic update.
We got an update from David Wu.
I am a queen card. You wanna be the queen card.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Just one situation. This is on the PIE after the Thompson Road exit, heading in the direction of Tuas. An accident is causing a backup all the way to the Toa Payoh exit. Avoid the rightmost lane if you can. If you spot anything else, 885550
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. I just want to say that I'm doing something to build my agility as well. I'm going to be taking singing classes.
Oh, wow!
Nice.
So I discussed it over the weekend with the boss of the Timber Group.
Oh, okay.
And so they're arranging, because he's been asking me to take singing lessons.
Oh,
Nice
nice.
So I'm
announcement there.
Okay,
Let us know
I
when you're
want to be the next rock star.
Let us know when you're performing. We'll all go and cheer you on.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good morning, Danny. Okay.
Okay, so you remember David Wu had the question
yes. Hi,
about
David.
whether after you resign, the company can claw back your approved leave from 2 years ago. So he came back to us. He said, I was going to say my ex-wife, but it's actually my wife's ex-company, did that, and she's now fighting for this unfair situation. Basically, this company deducted her last month's salary for the 3 days approved leave. Somehow the government seems to be helping the company. Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes and no, but
We don't know the true story.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
don't
There's
know.
so many
It's
layers,
You know,
right?
the government always does the right thing.
This
so-
is
Yeah.
according to him.
There's so much backstory
Yeah.
to it, so I can't
Send
really
an
comment.
email?
We don't know.
I
Send an
heard
email.
that. Someone said, Glenn, you're sucking up again to the
Yeah.
government. I heard that.
That's that little red guy sitting, or the little white
But I feel
angel
like
sitting on your
suck up to
shoulder.
the government, don't suck up to the government. I suck up to the government.
No, I agree with you. I think the government is fair.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's situational once again for David's case, and it's if it's a big company, most of the time, very often they know what they're doing. They don't want to be sued or have a bad rap. So yeah, I mean,
There are always three sides to a story. Anyway, David, get in touch with Adrian at info@careeragility.org.
Yeah, and spill it.
Yeah,
Tell him
tell him
everything. I'm sure
everything, yeah.
there are more details.
Yeah. But it's once again, it all boils down to A, employment law, and B, the letter of your contract. What does it say?
So comb through it. You know what I found? If you have like really hard contracts or agreements that you don't understand, you can put it through AI and ask what it means in layman's terms.
Possible.
You know, I mean, of course, you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, make sure you read it properly.
Yeah.
But you can actually put the documents through and just say, I need to break down this paragraph.
Yeah.
And I need
What
to
does
know
it
what
mean?
it means.
I would
Because
just-
some people do that.
I would get a lawyer.
Yeah, some people can't afford a lawyer.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, some
then-
people cannot afford a lawyer, a
Yeah.
career coach. You know, they
Yeah.
don't have mentors, or they're not surrounded by people who understand this stuff.
Yeah.
So an easy way would be
there
that.
Are
You know,
free legal clinics.
She is so pro AI.
Oh, I love AI.
yeah,
she's
yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
AITO, ladies and gentlemen.
It's AN too. It's ant. Okay.
So it's. I would say that an AI is good to give you some idea. You can't sue an AI if the advice is
This
bad.
is true as well.
So
Hire an AI lawyer. No, don't listen to me. Don't.
Hey, we got to get an AI guy to come into the
We're-
studio.
we're getting
Have
an
we,
AI guy,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Shalini and Cheyenne have already arranged already.
nice.
Very
Yes.
good.
Nice,
I
nice.
think it would be cool to ask. You're huge on AI as
Oh,
well.
I love AI. Yeah, I use it quite a fair bit. But once again, like what Ian always says, the best advice you get is the advice you pay for. So
that's
you
true.
invest. You just go, especially when it comes to employment contracts. If they are confusing to you,
Get
run
an
it through an
expert,
AI.
yeah.
Ask HR to explain to you. If you don't, then you get a lawyer.
Right.
And there, as I said, there are free legal clinics around. You can just pop in and just ask for quick advice. I'm
But
sure.
that's a good tip. Go to your HR department and find out
Yeah.
what exactly certain bits mean
Yeah.
in the contracts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And get it in writing
From them?
from them.
What it means?
What it means.
Okay.
Yen, by the way, is Adrian's business partner for those of you who are
Oh,
tuning
yes.
in for the very, very first time.
Yes.
So it's info@careeragility.org. That's where you can find them. They also have Coach Carol. CoachCarol.ai, I believe, is the
Yes.
website. And you can find out different things about your career and all that. And Adrian's on every Thursday, just in
Yep.
case this is your first time you're listening in.
Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us today.
Always a pleasure. And once again, anything, just drop me an email.
All right. Up next, The Weekend, Blinding Lights on Kiss 92.